Yo, what's good, traders? This your boy Jay Devar bringing y'all another upload this week, man. In this week's upload, I'm actually finna do an updated review of Elite Trader Funding. I did a review of this firm on my YouTube channel about a couple months ago. I'll probably link that video in somewhere around here, maybe just show a screenshot of it. But the reason I'm doing an updated review on it is because I recently just seen that they had a major update to their website. So like I saw things like they had like activation fees now, which they didn't have before. They also changed some rules as far as like how many elite sim funded accounts you can have now. So we're going to get into all that, but before we do, ask you guys, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on that notification bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new upload. But now, let's go ahead and get into this updated review. Go ahead and minimize this right here. So this is their updated website. I'm gonna be honest, it is a bit more it looks a bit more modern. You know, the old website, it was kind of, in my opinion, kind of boring, and it looked outdated, like something that was probably a website that what you would see in like the early 2000s. So it was just like a really old looking website, right? So they have some changes to the accounts and the products that they offer. You see, they have it like kind of like in the parentheses here of each, what the beginner, standard, intermediate, what basically just what every account used to be and what it's called now on the website. So with the beginner, these are the static accounts. So this is the accounts with the static drawdown, right? So these don't have the end of day or the intraday trailing drawdown or anything like that. This is just straight static. So whatever the drawdown is, that's what it is. So the maximum drawdown on a say 10K static evaluation is $500, right? For $100, right? Still the same principle, monthly renewal fee for whatever account you have. Um, let's see. Minimum trade days to pass, 5, still the same. They have a $75 reset fee. There's an activation fee as low as $39.99, $40 paid once, and then after that it's $80 monthly. And now this is something new that I'm kind of just like, okay, I really don't like this too much, you know. Now they have one-time activation fees. They used to not have these. It used to just be once you pass the account, you would just pay the $80 activation fee for the funded account. Now they actually have another. Now they actually have a one-time activation fee, and then on top of that, after that, you have to pay $80 monthly, right, for a funded account. To keep your funded account. I'm not. I'm be honest. I'm just be honest. I'm not really a big fan of this. One-time activation fee. Especially with how they used to do things a couple months ago, and now all of a sudden, now you hitting people over the head with like extra fees. So I'm not really a big fan of that. You see right here, they have the pros and cons. They highlight the pros and cons of everything. Go to the end of the day drawdown. They tell you the pros and cons of each plan that you pick. So after that, you got the standard. That's the end of the day. Currently, they're running a sale on this because this is updated, a new website and everything. So they want to drop it like a flash sale. So these are on sale for, I want to say 90%, probably 90% off. Yeah, we're about 90% off. Let's see. One-time activation fee. Okay, so when it comes to a 100K eval on a standard evaluation, the one-time activation fee is $250. I yeah, I'm not really a fan of the some of the changes that they implemented. So like with the activation fees and everything. On a swing account, because this I like I said in one of my videos that I made about this firm a couple months ago. I stumbled upon them because I was looking for firms that had swing trading accounts, and they were one of the few firms, futures firms, as a matter of fact, futures firm, got to be specific. There's a difference between futures and forex prop firms, but they were one of the futures firms that I saw that had offered swing trading style accounts, right? But again, with some of these changes, like one-time activation fee of $300, they used to not have that. So I don't know I don't know why all of a sudden they decided to start with the activation fees and everything of the sort. Um, yeah. So right here we got the fast track. There is no one time activation fee for these accounts. These accounts you only get 14 days to pass these accounts because it's the you get 14 days, and also too, your profit target is double and your drawdown is double. Uh, because this is just an account to show them that, like, if you're someone that already knows how to trade, then they want to see that you can pass this account pretty fast. So you got 14 days, you got to pass it within 5 days. You got to pass it. There are no reset fees for these accounts. It's strictly $75 unless they're having a sale, and they do not renew. They do not renew every month. During the evaluation phase, they do not renew. Let's see. You actually no man, they do renew. You have to cancel it though, right? You have to cancel it though, because what you can do with the fast track accounts, if you don't pass the account in 14 days, you can roll it over into a standard, I want to say, one step account. I want to say that was the rule they had. If you don't pass the fast track in 14 days, then you can roll it over into an expert and then continue on from there. But you have to email them directly about that. Um, and they also don't have a one-time activation fee for these accounts either, right? So it's looking like this is probably the best account to go for, because then you can just roll it over. But then again, if you roll it over, you're probably gonna have to pay that one-time activation fee, which again, like I said, they used to not have these, right? They used to not have these activation fees. It just would be, you pay the $80 after you pass. You pay the $80 and you get the account, and you just pay $80 monthly, right? Because I know, I mean, I'm up for being wrong, but from what I remember, right, there was no one time activation fees for these accounts, right? I'm open to being wrong, because it's just, when I seen that, I was just like, wait a minute, hold on, like, one time activation fees, $300. I don't remember that one bit, you know. So I might have to go look at my old video, but just just the fact that I was just taken off guard by that, I was like, yo, I don't remember seeing this for like all these accounts, right? But so yeah, we have that. Yeah, you can risk of early failure and everything. So that's one of the cons of this account. Then we got the one step. They're doing a 90% off sale on these accounts also. They got a one-time activation fee of $225, which I think is just absolutely insane. Unless they, I mean, look, it's their business. They can do what they want. It's their product. They can charge whatever they want. You know, I'm not sure if this is something that they're trying to do, to like bring in more revenue so they can, I guess, bring in more technology to their firm, or what. But it's like I said, it's their business, it's their product. They can charge what they want. But I just think it's a bit crazy, especially like if you already had traders that you've been giving payouts to, and now with these updates and everything, now they have to pay more money to get funding. I guess to the previous customer base, it's like wow, y'all just blindsided us with this one. And the master accounts, which is the direct to funded accounts, again, I've reviewed these accounts before, and honestly, this is not like an instant funding account that I would personally spend money on, because it's like for $700, 50K account, I have a 10% drawdown, but I also have to make 10% before I even can take my first payout. I think that's a bit insane. That's just me personally. But for $700, I really don't think it's worth the money. Especially for $600 with the 25K account, instant funded account, I don't think it's worth it for the money either. Because yeah, 10% drawdown, but you got to make 10% of the account to make a buffer, and then you have to trade the account past the 10% in order to take a payout, right? So for example, since the drawdown is $5,000, right? 10%, you got to get the account up to $55,000, or 50. No, my bad. 56. No, wait. $5,100. You got to get the account up to $5,100, because they add in the $100 to the buffer, right? So you got to get the account up to about 10%. Then say you want to take a $5,000 payout, so you got to get the account up to 20%, right? So you got to push the account up to about $60,000. That's like 20%. That's a 20% increase. So that's yeah, for $700, I don't think it's worth it. I just don't worth it. I think they kind of have to come down a bit on that drawdown and the buffer requirement. a bit. Or at least I think if you're gonna charge $700, give me like a 100K account or something like that. You know, yeah, that's just personally what I think they should do instead of the charging this much for a 50K account. That's and then on top of that, you don't even get much leverage with it either. You get 5 minis or 5 micros. You know, it's I understand you can make money with minis and micros, but it's just like damn, just five. And if I'm spending $700 on an account, I think I should have a bit more like leverage to work with. You know what I mean? But um, especially because like they could do at least 50 micros, at least 5 micros, because like this is just divided by 10 of the minis. So say on like the Nasdaq, I want to say each tick is worth $20. If you divide that by 10, that's $2. So 5 micros, you risking 5 micros, you're only making like $10. Like you're only making about like $10 per tick. You know, I think that's a bit. Yeah, they need to. I think they need to up that a bit to make this more worth the value, right? Just give us some more leverage because 5 micros is I don't think that's gonna cut it. It's just me personally, you know. Um, Even depending on how big your stop loss might be, you know, I don't think 5 micros is gonna be enough to even say, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's worth $700. That's just my personal opinion. Someone else can, you know, it's y'all money. Y'all free to, you know, spend your money on whatever. But just for the value, nah, not me. But oh, another thing I want to touch on too, right? So you used to be able to have up to 20 Elite Sim funded accounts. Now they reduced that down to 5, right? So after when they came out with this update September 17th, if you had any accounts before September 17th, they said that account is grandfathered in. That's grandfathered in. So you don't have to worry about, you can still have 20 Elite Sim funded accounts with those accounts. But any account you purchase after September 17th, which is today is Friday the 19th. So anything after Wednesday, any accounts you purchase after Wednesday, you can only have up to 5 Elite Sim funded accounts, right? So it's not 20 anymore, right? So there we go. You got. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about some of the changes that they made that I went over. And like I said, you guys always feel free to come over here and like do your own research and everything. Look at the website yourself and everything. Yeah, but that's all. That's all I really have. I just want to give a quick update on, you know, some of the changes that they made to the site and everything, and also with their account products and everything too. Because, like I said, the one time activation fees, it's just in my mind that's just something new. That's not something that I remember seeing on the old website. You know, I just remember that when you pass, it's $80 for the funded account, and it's $80 monthly. So long as you don't fail the account or anything like that, you know, as long as you're following the rules. But like I said, that's just from what I'm going off of or what I remember. You know, I have to look at my old video. But with that being said, that's really it that I have for this video. Like I said, you guys feel free to comment down below what you guys think of the changes that he made. You know, if this is a firm that you would still trade with. Me personally, I probably would trade with it, but I would probably only go for the fast track accounts because those don't have the one-time activation fees, right? Whereas if you want a diamond hand swing account, $300 for activation after you pass. Standard $250 for 100K for 100K. $250 activation fee. I don't remember this, you know, but yeah. So comment down below. Also subscribe to the video and like the video, y'all. Let's get these subscribers up. And I really appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. You know, over the last couple uploads that I've been putting up. You know, I've been seeing the comments. You know, everybody encouraging me and everything of the sort. Of, you know, just giving some commentary. You know, I really do appreciate the conversations and the, you know, the happy wishes and everything. So that being said, this is y'all boy Jay Davari, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.